Hello, everyone. This is Adam with psychedelicinvest.com. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful, wonderful day. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at MindMed's most recent earnings report. This is going to be their full year for the year of 2022 earnings report. So let's jump right into things. Okay, let's jump right into things. We'll start off with what Robert Barrow had to say. Our significant progress in 2022 has set the stage for what we expect to be a transformational 2023. This year, we expect key data readouts from our Phase 2b study of MM-120. That's MindMed's LSD program for the treatment of generalized anxiety disorder, as well as from our Phase 2a proof of concept trial of repeated low-dose MM-120 and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. That's microdosing LSD for ADHD. That's actually one of the more interesting things MindMed has going for it in terms of what I find interesting. I think that LSD and ADHD, in terms of using LSD for an ADHD as the indication, I think there's something there. Anecdotally, or in myself personally, I am ADHD, like severely ADHD, and microdosing LSD has been wonderful for me throughout my life, and completely replaced amphetamines at one point. So it's definitely, I think there is definitely something there. We'll just see if they can deliver on that. Additionally, we expect to initiate the first clinical trial of MM-402 later in the year. MM-402, I think, is their MDMA analog. Importantly, we believe our financial position provides us with the ability to fund our programs well beyond these key milestones and into the first half of 2025. So that's pretty significant. As we've been seeing within the psychedelic sector, and especially during like an extended bear market like this, having cash is everything. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, your pipeline doesn't even matter as much as long as you have cash, because cash lets you keep the doors open and lets you fund all the programs you need to fund. And MindMed has cash, and they're claiming here that it will last them until the first half of 2025. So they're looking good in regards to their cash position. And he goes on to say, I am incredibly proud of our team's achievements, and I am more confident than ever in our ability to continue advancing our organization and development programs. We are keenly focused on our mission to deliver novel therapies to treat brain health disorders, which we believe will lead to meaningful improvements in patients' outcomes in these major areas of unmet medical need. Nice job, Rob. Sounds good. All right, so let's continue here. All right, let's go on to see the recent highlights and anticipated upcoming milestones. We have Phase 2b study evaluating MM-120 for generalized anxiety disorder remains on track. Great, wonderful to read. MM-120, the company's proprietary pharmaceutically optimized form of LSD, is being developed for the treatment of generalized anxiety disorder. Okay, most of you should know this already. In August of 2022, the company initiated dosing in the 200-patient Phase 2b dose optimization study of MM-120 for the treatment of generalized anxiety disorder. Lovely. Patient enrollment is currently ongoing, and the study remains on track, with top line results expected to be announced in late 2023. Okay, something to look forward to, late 2023. So we'll see if it will stay on track into the end of 2023. That remains to be seen, but that's what they're saying here, which is great. Phase 2a study evaluating MM-120 for ADHD remains on track. Lovely. I want to hear more about this, because this is the one thing in MindMed's pipeline that I'm actually excited and like eagerly waiting to hear more about. The company's Phase 2a proof of concept trial for the treatment of ADHD is designed to assess the safety and efficacy of repeated low-dose MM-120 administration in 52 patients. So I think that we're going to, based on all the data we have on LSD in general, they should be able to show safety and efficacy here for microdose LSD. I don't know exactly how small of a dose they are using, but typically microdoses are supposed to be sub-perceptual doses, and I don't know if that would cut it for people suffering from ADHD, because the reality is, for ADHD specifically, it's that stimulating effect that kind of keeps you focused. So we'll see We'll see what the like. If anyone knows what the dose is and they can mention it in the comments, please feel free to. But I'd love to find out what dose they're using for the 52 patients. It'll just be interesting to see. And they expect top line results in late 2023. All right, and up next we have advancing development of MM-402 into first clinical trial in 2023. So the company is developing MM-402, the company's proprietary form of MDMA. I wasn't going to read all that, sorry guys, for the treatment of core symptoms of autism spectrum disorder. So this is actually new to me. I have never read, I've never encountered anything that was using MDMA for autism. I think that's a really interesting thing to throw it at, because in general, I don't like nobody's doing MDMA for autism. But I would love to find out if there is, I guess, if there's teeth here. Can MDMA be used as a treatment for the core symptoms of autism spectrum disorder? So I don't know enough. But if anyone who's watching this video can provide some more color to this, I'd really love to hear what you have to say. But once again, interesting indication, and they're choosing MDMA for it. So we'll eagerly awaiting more data on this. But I'm going to withhold my opinion until then. Results from a preclinical study of MM-402 in a model of autism spectrum disorder are expected to be presented in the first half of 2023. Okay, so we should, I guess at some point, we should be hearing about it this year. So it should be interesting. The company plans to initiate its first clinical trial of MM-402 in 2023. This phase 1 study is intended to characterize the tolerability, pharmacokinetics, and pharmacodynamics of MM-402 and to evaluate early signals of efficacy to support the company's approach in targeting core symptoms of ASD. It's a phase 1. Mostly they're going to be looking for is safety, things like that. And once again, they said they're going to look for early signals of efficacy to support early signals of efficacy. So basically that's because in a phase 1, you're not looking at efficacy. That's not where you're really, really honing in on efficacy. You're mostly looking at safety there. So we have that. University Hospital Basel in Switzerland, the company's collaborator, is currently enrolling patients in a phase 1 investigator-initiated trial of MDMA, of 3 different types of MDMA here. We have R-MDMA, S-MDMA, and R/S-MDMA in healthy volunteers. This trial is comparing the tolerability, pharmacokinetics, and acute subjective physiological and endocrine effects of the 3 molecules. Okay. Lovely. Can't wait to hear more about that. So I think the main thing to focus on here in regards to the financials, we're just going to look at the net losses. They've already said they have enough cash to last them into 2025. So we're going to take MindMed's word for it. But we have the net losses. So net loss for the year ended December 31st, 2022 was $56.8 million compared to $93 million for the same period in 2021. So they managed to bring the net losses down pretty significantly. That is good to see. I think a majority of it was based on just how they were doing stock option awards and things like that. And I know they did cut staff and stuff like that as well. I don't think the amount of staff they cut would have had this much of an impact on it. It obviously wouldn't. But it's nice to see them bringing that down to $56.8 million. So we'll see how this the net losses kind of creep up as MindMed has to either fund new trials that they bring into their, like new trials for different drugs that they're bringing out. If they have a new drug and they're running a new trial at some point this year, it's going to cost more money. Or once again, if the phase 2 or even if they get to a phase 3, those are going to be very expensive. But we'll see how things kind of evolve for MindMed. But once again, just on paper, this is good to see. We had a $93 million net loss for the same period in 2021 and $56.8 million for the year ended December 31st, 2022. So this is great to see, especially given once again the amount of criticism MindMed got in regards to their heavy spending. So it's nice to see that they actually, it seems like they kind of They saw it. They saw the criticism and they did something about it. So that's nice to see, and we'll see kind of how things go. We'll see in their next earnings report how that if the net losses start to creep up again, or if they continue to kind of stay in this 56.8 million range for the year. And if we're going to look at it by quarter, we'll see if that ends up going up quarter by quarter. We'll take a look at that when it happens. All right, we're just going to take a look at MindMed's price right now. So MindMed's trading at $3.07. So the price hit a low of about $2.12, bounced after that, and now we're hovering in the $3 range. Now this is just like all the other psychedelic biotech companies. MindMed is down significantly. Every company is hurting. This is not a MindMed specific thing. It's just what's happening. The market is very, very risk off right now. So speculative biotech like psychedelic biotech companies are going to hurt enormously. And we're seeing that and we're feeling that in the sector right now. You look at Atai, MindMed, Cybin, every company is hurting. Actually, there's one company off the top of my head that isn't hurting that bad in terms of that's been showing strength during all this, and that's PharmaTher. I'll do a video on them at some point, but yeah, PharmaTher has actually been looking good throughout this whole market downturn. But anyway, so we have MindMed, $3.07. This is where we're at right now. We'll have to see just how things continue to play out with the trials they have going on right now. But the best thing MindMed has going for it in this current moment is their cash position. Cash position is significant. And based on their cash position, you are at $3.07. You are getting MindMed for a more insignificant cash position than they currently already have. So essentially, like if you were evaluating MindMed just based on their cash position, I think it would be at a higher stock price. It wouldn't be at $3.07. So in essence, like if you're buying in right now, you could be getting a good deal. But on the same note, it's like for speculative biotech like psychedelics, it very much could be where they're looking at the cash position. They see this cash position, but do they have faith in these drugs kind of succeeding through the FDA trials? And that could be why the valuation is so low. And I mean, the same thing is happening to Atai right now. Atai is trading well below its cash position, and it's not making sense. So essentially, like if you look at Atai, I'm just using Atai as an example. You're just paying for the exposure to Compass, and you're getting every other program in their pipeline essentially free. So like that's how you kind of look at it. And like with MindMed right now too, you can say something similar. It's like right now, if you're investing in MindMed, you're essentially investing and getting their cash position, and you're getting whatever is in their pipeline for free. Obviously, they don't have a really vast pipeline like some of these other companies, but they're focused. They know they're doing LSD, they're doing MDMA. The indications are definitely interesting. And in regards to like if they do kind of get some traction with these indications, autism, ADHD, and like generalized anxiety disorder is a big one, but it's a lot of companies are looking at generalized anxiety disorder. It's not just MindMed. But specifically for autism and ADHD, like those are hype. There's a lot of hype behind it because number one, ADHD is extremely, extremely common. And at the end of the day, while amphetamines are extremely effective for ADHD, there's growing concern in regards to being on amphetamines for your whole life if you suffer from ADHD. I'll tell you right now, I did not want to be on amphetamines my whole life. I stopped using Adderall, and now I microdose LSD and other psychedelics as well, but LSD is my microdose of choice. I don't do like typical microdoses. I do like, I think compared to what the average person would do, they would be more like they're definitely heavier than a microdose. But once again, like the psychedelic effects that come with LSD don't really bother me, and it doesn't distract me from focusing. But yeah, with that said, I think that MindMind's definitely got MindMed. Is that what I just said? MindMed has definitely got some interesting things going on right now. They have an enormous cash position, and we'll see how things go for them. Cautiously, just cautious in regards to any psychedelic biotech company right now. I think at the end of the day, once the market is more risk on, I think we should start seeing more interest come into the psychedelic biotech sector. But as it's standing right now, it's like if you want to accumulate a position, now would be the time before speculative biotech starts to really, really recover in regard with the economy and everything going on. So we'll see how everything goes. I hope everyone enjoyed this video.